Hey everybody, I just thought I would drop a quick video. It's been a minute since I've dropped a video. Tonight, Hamish and I were going to record a video and the technology is just not working. So I don't know what's going on with the Zoom systems and everything else. We've had internet down, we've had Zoom bad connections, and so we're going to aim for tomorrow. But before we go ahead and have our conversation tomorrow, I realize that it's been a while since I've updated people that follow my content on the energies for the last couple of weeks. And I think the reason why I've been called to sort of step back a little bit is that I found myself going through processes that were they called forth everything that I needed to get me to where I am now. And there were different conversations I was having with different people, and I found out that a lot of people were kind of going through the same thing. So it seems that we had a really active end of January, trying to get us to the space that we need to be in. I do feel like we've had a little bit of a breakthrough in February. I don't think I'll go into a lot of the details about like what kinds of shifts and changes were going on. Most of them were on a personal level. They were things that were coming up for me to see so that I could let go. There were other also challenges to what I would consider the base root chakra, financial. Oh my gosh, what if we're here forever and we never like move into higher frequencies? Like, what does this trajectory look like? How do I fit in within this construct? Oops, I don't. Okay, that's a problem. So those were some of the things that I was dealing with. And there seemed to be some energies that came in, rolling in right around, I want to say right around the 1st. I think it might have even been the 31st. And with the help of friends and actually with the help of hemi-syncing, there was something about some hemi-syncing that I was doing with a really good soundtrack that I got from good friends. They sent them to me. There was just something that shifted inside of me, and it was right around that time I felt like, I'm trying to think, without mentioning dates, because I am so unattached from time. If you were to ask me what the date is today, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you. I want to say it's the 5th. But I'll put it in the description below, or you'll see it when I upload, because I honestly, I don't connect with time like I used to. But I can say, I know that this is when I can't even tell you if it's Monday or Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. It is. It's Tuesday. Oh my God. This is what I'm saying. So it's Tuesday. So a week ago on Saturday night, that is when I had a significant shift. And I'll have to go back and look at the dates. It was the end of January. And I simply said, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't like how I'm feeling. I don't like what I'm eating. I don't like what I'm doing. I don't like what I'm thinking. I just had been going through this process, and I said, that's it. No more. I'm not doing this anymore. So I woke up the next day and I set out for a new eating schedule, and I just started focusing on me. I don't know what prompted it. I don't know, like, was it a download from my inner being? I don't know. But all I know is I realized if I don't get my stability, I am going to be no good to anyone. If I don't get my stability, I'm not going to be able to do what I came here to do. If I don't get my stability, I will be in a constant race to the finish line, like, gotta get out of here. And then I realized, being in our own energy and in our own space and grabbing the steering wheel of our own life is probably the single most important thing that we can do right now. And so I set out to tune into my inner being, my higher self, And I allowed my higher self to guide me moment by moment. Because at first what I tried to do was I tried to say, okay, what do I need to do? Like, what's my eating menu, and lay it all out and plan it and to-do lists and all that. My inner being, like, it didn't take long for me to realize, yeah, that's not going to happen. You are not going to plan this out, because I tried and I was like, I'm stuck. I don't know what I'm doing. And then I got the real strong inclination. Let's do this moment by moment. And so here's an example of what moment by moment looks like when it comes to the care of self. I got a cupboard, and probably even more than a cupboard, full of supplements that I had great intentions of taking, but it's like, how many capsules can you take in one day, right? So you're like, oh, I don't know what ones to take and what ones I need. And so my inner being was like, why don't you just go on intuition, and we'll just look at the cabinet a couple times a day, and let's just pull out the ones that feel right for us. That was one of the examples. Increasing my water intake. I do distilled water. I've been doing distilled water for, gosh, a year and a half. Up the intake is what I got. I was kind of shown that carbs of any kind right now are not working with my body. They're not keeping me clear. It's time to completely go. I don't want to say completely carb free, but very low carb, like, I don't know, 25 grams of carbs, if that. I mean, sometimes I might get 15, or sometimes I might get 10, but very, very low carb. Get rid of all of the starches, sugars. I had kind of let go at Christmas. And so that was one of the things that I got. And then another instruction that I got from my inner being, and it came through a video, was, and I'd never really contemplated this before, do a full body workout. Just do a full body workout every day. Just go in and work every muscle group. Don't kill yourself. Just do it mindfully. Do it slow. Don't worry about the weight, although I found myself increasing in weight. And just those things helped me. Now I'm not advocating this for everyone, but what I'm saying is that by me grabbing the steering wheel and really connecting with my inner being and saying, please show me what I need right now, my plan for self-focus and self-care became crystal clear. And so I was shown, yes, you're going to have things come up in 3D. Yes, you're going to have work responsibilities. Yes, you're going to have people talking to you and things of that nature, but really, really pull your energies in and try to focus right here. So I started doing that. And several days in, I was really super happy, because I looked at the scale and I'm like, oh my God, I just saw like some weight that I had gained, like starting to peel off, and I started claiming my template. I'm like, oh my God, I'm seeing my divine template showing up for me. And I said, I command that my divine template return to its perfection. I want it to be incorruptible. I want to go back, regress age to whatever is appropriate for me. Let all my energy bodies be aligned. I focused and I continue to do it every day. I'm aligning with my greater being's original template. Just focused on that. I say it many times during the day. I look for it in the mirror. I get in the mirror and I'm like, oh wow, I see it coming. I see it coming. I look for the slightest tiny improvement. So I'm commanding that into my existence. So you can see that through those activities, what my inner being was showing me is how to appreciate self, care for self, and stop listening to the noise out here. Now, that doesn't mean that I didn't listen to any videos, although the number of videos I listen to, is I don't listen to a lot of videos, but I have my moments, right, where I like to listen to some stuff. I found myself with the hemi-syncing music. I would put it in, the headphones on, and I would just lay down and I would just go into that space. And I almost felt just like 100% connected with my inner being. And there was no mind chatter. And there was no, let's see what the higher self has to say and channel through information for other people. It was like, I'm basking in me right now. And it was a process of honoring self. And so that process has been building. And after that process started building, my inner being started giving me this vision of me in lotus position. And the thing about lotus position is its stability. It is utter stability. It's in a resting pose, it's in a receiving pose, but it's in a very strong pose, spine straight. But the foundation, the base, the sacral, that energy being extremely just stable. What I kept getting was stable. The things that my inner being and I have been doing together was stability. And I started, getting messages like, do you understand what stability is? And I'm like, yeah, I do now. And it was a feeling of groundedness. It was mindfulness. It was, and I said, I should be saying is because it still is. It is mindfulness. It is present moment. It is dealing with what comes in the moment of now and consciously facing it and dealing with it. And so the next thing that my higher self was showing me was how important it is to stay in that space. And so what started to happen is I had a lot of different circumstances come up that are like, okay, are you going to take the fish hook? You going to take it? And I found myself saying, no, not taking that fish hook. That's done. Not doing that anymore. And it was like, good, you're learning. So, so the reason why I wanted to make this video is, number one, to share that right now, during these energies, whatever you can do to really center on yourself. And I don't mean from a selfish standpoint to the exclusion of other people, but I'm saying self-care and pulling your energy in and really trying to stay focused and present. And for me, whether it was just because I was worrying about, okay, what do I need to put into my body right now? Okay, what do I need to do? I need to drink something. It made me focus on me. Didn't mean I wasn't showing up for other people. It just meant I became the primary focus. After that, when you get to that space, then the key is to stay in that space. So how do you stay in that space? And it is through mindfulness. It is through things coming to your attention that can try to pull you off that stability. But if you make that stability your top priority, then you figure out, what do I need to do right now in this moment of now to get myself into the space of stability? What is it that's coming up for me that is threatening my stability? And what can I do to create the conditions for that stability to stay present? And those could run the variance from, a financial thing coming up, to a relationship thing coming up, to new friendships coming up, to old friendships coming up needing something, to family members needing something. And I was able to just stop and say, how do I navigate this situation without being pulled off course? And the answers were varied depending on the situation. Sometimes it was like, yep, disconnect. Nope, not doing that. We're just not going there. Goodbye. See ya. Then there were other times where it was like, this person's asking for something from you that they need. Can you give that to them without giving yourself away? Like, yeah, I probably can. They've asked me to give them this, and I can easily give them that, and then I can let it go, right? So my point is that I wanted to share that with you because I think this is starting to become available to us. it does take a lot of like commitment and dedication and self-responsibility. It's so easy to be rocked by something outside of you and to jump and say, oh, that knocked me off center. I've been there. I've been there and done that so many times. And I'm not even saying that that's not going to happen to me again, but I've set the intention as the creator being that I am, that I can be powerful enough to stay in that steady lotus position and navigate whatever I need to navigate. And if I have an occasion where I fall off, so far, I haven't had that happen yet. I've been able to maintain the steadiness. What's really interesting is that there are situations that have unfolded that I was sure, like as soon as I was like, yup, nope, not going there, not doing that, stuff was revealed to me. Like thinking this is about this. This, no thank you, is about this particular thing. But then clarity would come to me and I'd be like, oh, I know where the root of that is. It's not there with that situation. It's here with this situation. I see the root of it. Then I go into the root of it and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. And once I got the root, that situation disappeared altogether, because it's all just a reflection. Everything we experience is a reflection. So and I want to make this very clear. This is not spiritual bypassing. There's a really, really big difference, because spiritual bypassing is trying to stay in a state of calm without dealing with what's coming up. There's a big difference, because as my good friend Hamish, has taught me, when something comes into your space bubble that is trying to pull you off center, a lot of people will just run, right? Or they'll confront and get into it. The real strength lies in showing up fully with complete power, but neutral. And so it's very active. So it's not bypassing anything. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to let that go. I'm just going to let that go. It's, what does this have to offer me? What does this have to teach me? And like I said, a lot of times it will show, up in the core of it will be someplace else, and you're shown that, and then it goes away. So during this process, actually is, hey, my buddy. Every video I do, I have one of my cats decide they're gonna make an appearance. This is Jasper. Jazzy's my cuddle bunny. But anyways, yeah, so everything has something to offer you in terms of a lesson. These things come up for us for a reason. They're projections of our deepest, darkest fears. They're signposts, okay? They're signposts of what you need to look at. And so it's not really about, when I say I'm not going to let anything pull me off course, it's not like I'm going to ignore the world and only focus on me. It's, I've made a decision that lotus position is the most important thing that I can do right now. And when you come to that decision and you sit in that power, that is what you dedicate yourself to. And then anything that comes up that tries to pull you out of that lotus position, then you go, something has arrived. What is it? What lesson does it have to teach me? And it's surprising, because just your willingness to stay seated and stay stable and stay neutral will often show you that the things that you thought were going to happen as a result of the exchange or the situation, they don't bear fruit. It just doesn't materialize to anything. And that's when you start to say, I really am creating my reality. And it feels really, really, really powerful. And as you start to feel more and more powerful as you navigate this, you start to understand what it means to be a creator being. And you start to understand that you don't have to come out of your lotus position. You can sit right there with it. And you can, I go back to what I said when I was 18. I want to be so strong that no wind can blow out my candle flame. So anyways, video coming with Hamish as soon as we can get an internet connection. We're going to talk a little bit about the energies. I didn't end up doing a January energy report after I did my my 2024. Just did not have the space for it, did not have the bandwidth. Not sure if I'm going to do February. I think the conversation sometimes that I have with Hamish pretty much nails a lot of it. So anyways, we're going to be putting out that video, so you'll want to look for that. And I welcome your comments below. I would love to know what you think about this. If it sounds like that resonates with you, if you feel like, it's helpful, maybe even put, what are you struggling with? What are some of the things that, you've got going on? My biggest struggle now is this boy who just shows up. He just, he's so, I don't know, he's so independent, but boy, when he shows up, he wants my attention and there's no stopping it. So I'm going to go give him some attention. But anyways, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and take care. Bye.